AutoCAD's interface is a multi-document environment. This means that I can have multiple drawings open at the same time. The multi-document environment can be very helpful when making design comparisons or transferring line work from one drawing to another. Now I've currently got my drawing of my house floor plan on my screen, and I'm going to go and open a second file. I'm going to do that by coming up to my Open icon and clicking, and this will bring up my Select File dialog. Let's highlight the kitchen detail drawing and click Open. Notice the kitchen detail drawing is what we see on our screen. Now you may be wondering, where did that first drawing go? I do have two drawings open. Let's go to our window pull down and find out where the first drawing went. I'm going to come up to Window, and I'm going to come down to the bottom of the menu, and at the bottom I can see a listing of all of the drawings that I have open in AutoCAD. The one with the check next to it represents the drawing that is currently visible on my screen. If I click on the number 1 option, I will flip back to my floor plan. One of the nice aspects of being able to work on multiple drawings at the same time is that I can create side-by-side comparisons, or I can move geometry from one file into another. Let me show you what I mean. If I come up to the window pull down, I can come down to this area of the menu, and I can select Tile horizontally or Tile vertically. This will allow me to see all of my open drawings, and it just depends on which orientation I like. I'm going to select Tile vertically. This gives me a side-by-side comparison of the two drawings. And since I have two drawings open on my screen, I can work in either drawing just by clicking in the window. For instance, I just clicked in the window on the right. If I hold my pan button down, I am now working in this drawing. If I move my cursor over to the left and click, I can now hold my wheel down. I can pan or work in this drawing. If I had an instance where I had two versions of a drawing, I can open up each one in its own window, and I can make comparisons between the two. Now in this case, I have an instance where I'd like to move geometry from one file to another. In the floor plan on the left, I've gotten to the point where I'm adding furniture, and I'm going to zoom in on the kitchen. In my kitchen area, I've got a large countertop, and I'd like to add some stools. This is going to be an eating area. And I happen to remember in a drawing that I worked on a couple of months ago, I had a similar situation where I created some stools. Rather than reinventing the wheel and creating those stools in this drawing, I'm going to steal the geometry from another file. I'm going to steal it from this file. I'm going to come over and click in this window to make this window active, and I'm going to zoom in on my stools. If I'd like to move geometry from one drawing to another, I'm going to move my cursor on top of a piece of my geometry and left click. This will highlight it. Then I will left click and hold on a portion of the highlighted geometry. Do not do it on top of the blue square. So I'm going to left click and hold on a highlighted portion, and I can drag this into the current file. When I release, this geometry has just become part of my current drawing. Now I don't need my detail drawing anymore, so I'm going to come up and click the X to close that window, and I do not want to save changes. And now I'd like to maximize this window on my screen, so I'm going to come up and click the middle icon, which represents maximize, and this drawing is now full screen. By allowing us to have more than one drawing open at a time, AutoCAD gives us quick access to our data and allows us to easily move our designs from one file to another.